Hi, Redeemer family. In our effort to continually educate you on this complicated and wonderful church that you are a part of here at Redeemer, one of the things that we have started last month to do monthly is what we're calling Farm to Table, where we are going to interview someone from our staff or from our church or connected with the Redeemer in some way, and we're going to walk from our farm to the communion table. And so this month we have a very special guest, the one and the only JD Meeder.
Hey Dan.
Hey JD, so good to have you with us.
What a treat. I'm excited to be a part of this.
Shall we take a walk?
Let's go on a journey.
All right. Last month we walked too fast, so we have to walk slow. Okay. Yeah. So we're learning how to do these things. So your name is JD. Why do we call you by initials? Where does that come from?
Yeah, I'm not just two random letters that people throw out there, but I will respond. And people at this church have called me TJ,
TJ,
RJ, JP, DJ, whatever works is fine.
Yeah. Okay.
My name's John David. My grandpa's name is John. My dad's name is David. And when I was in kindergarten, there was another kid named John, and they didn't want to confuse us. So they said, let's call him JD, and then it stuck.
There's a lot of Johns, not a lot of JDs. Very
That's
good.
right, yeah.
And JD, you have a family. Tell us about your wife and kids.
Yeah, the Lord's been so kind to me. My wife's name is Catherine. She's a superhero. We've been married for 7 years. She is a physical therapist, so she's the brains of the operation. We have a daughter named Nora, who's 3 years old, and then our son Jack just turned 1 in April.
Nice.
So we got a handsful.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. And you are the director of our Fellows program. What is the vision and work of the Fellows program?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked about that. It's the most fun job I've ever had, but what we want to do with the Fellows program is invite...
Oh wait, look at our new ramp.
Look at that.
It's brand new.
This is brand new.
Isn't that amazing?
It's so sturdy.
Just look, we can,
This is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Back to the Fellows program.
Yeah, the Greensboro Fellows, we are a 9-month professional and spiritual development program for recent college graduates. And we find that season of life is really, really critical to set up rhythms and a framework for living life well, to walk with Jesus for a long time in the context of the local church. And so there's a lot of elements involved in that. There's theological study, there's vocation and work, there's retreats, there's rhythms, there's different practices, all in the context of this church. And so it's a really fun thing to get to be a part of.
Nice. Well, so a year ago, I went on the hardcore recruiting trail to get JD and did the corporate headhunting thing away from Water Mission, which is another fantastic ministry, and we were sad for them that they lost JD, but very excited that JD came on as our director of Fellows. So you are finishing up your first year as our Fellows director. What's the biggest lesson you've learned over the course of this year?
Yeah, that's a great question. I do feel like it's been a lot of things to learn this year, walking with 6 people in a really close and intimate way, but I think I just continued to learn of just how intentional the Lord is and how much He really is invested into every single area of our lives. Like He really does want to control every piece of that, and how quickly, whether you're 22 years old like our fellows or 30 years old like me, or I bet beyond that, we can stray in these little areas of our lives. And so inviting intentionality, which is a big part of what we're trying to do, has served me as much as it's served the fellows this year, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sold out on the Fellows program. Love what the vision, and really to be able to see how can we impact the triad and even beyond the triad in the world of business and in helping create strong leaders that will be in the church, the business world, the family, politics, wherever it is that they go and be. So really thankful that we get to be a part of that. If the church wants to support you and your work in the Fellows program, what are some ways that they can do that?
Yeah, I think one thing that I will say, the church has been so supportive, and we've been really grateful for that. But this is a big program. There's a lot of ways to be involved. And so one big one is host homes. Each fellow is placed in a home with a member or a family from this church. That's a critical part of what we do. There are opportunities to mentor fellows where you're meeting with them weekly or bi-weekly to process what God's doing, to lead them spiritually. If you are in a place where you would be willing to consider hiring somebody part-time, they work Tuesday through Thursday, and we're always looking for great employers that fit into the passions of our fellows. And then there's just some other ways too. There's providing meals throughout the week. We're looking for folks to host fellows for different events that might come up. And then there is a component too where we do a little bit of fundraising even outside of what's normal here at the church. We just do a lot of things, like you said, for the city. Externally, we really cling to Jeremiah 29:7, right? Seek the peace of the city, for in its well-being you'll find your benefit. And we really feel like the fellows have embodied that. And so we do some fundraising outside of that as well. So if people have a little extra funds that they want to invest in the next generation, my phone's always on for calls like that. So lots of ways to get involved.
So one of the things we asked JD to do is raise about $50,000 a year for this program. And so if you can help with that, talk to JD. He'd love to be able to talk with you how to make that happen. All right, so last random final question. Knowing your penchant for 90s country music, what's the best 90s country music song of the entire decade?
Oh man, that's a very hard question. I love Garth. I think Garth is the best, and I don't know if it gets better than Friends in Low Places.
I think that's probably a decade-defining song in country music.
Yeah.
I would say so as well.
I'm from South Carolina, so I'm one of those people. Yeah.
Well, J.D. Meeder, director of our Fellows program, help and serve the Fellows program in any way that you can. It's a huge part of our church. It brings so much life to who we are and is a major part of our mission outside of these walls as well. He's your contact for all things Fellows. So we love you, Redeemer, and we will see you soon.
God bless you.